Today, we're making a granny square tissue holder. The tissue holder is primarily made up of 10 granny squares, connected to form a rectangular shape. There's an opening in the center for easy tissue insertion, and each of the 4 corners is decorated with a blue pom-pom about 1.57 inches in diameter. We will take this one for an example. This granny square is crocheted using 5 colors of yarn with a 3 mm crochet hook. Below are the yarn needle and stitch markers you'll need for the project. Let's look at the square. The center of the flower is made with double crochet stitches. For the second and third rounds, we use half double crochet stitches and chains in the 4 corners. In the 4th round, we switch to single crochet and front post treble crochet stitches. In the 5th round, we use double crochet stitches, and in the 6th round, we combine single crochet stitches with front post treble crochet stitches. Take out the yarn, and we'll start with the magic ring. To create the magic ring, hold the yarn with your hand and wrap it around your fingers twice to form 2 rings. Wrap the working yarn around your little finger and transfer the rings to your other hand. Hold the bottom of the rings tightly to keep them secure. Take the 3 mm crochet hook and insert it into the large hole, then hook the yarn and pull it through. You should now see a loop on the crochet hook. We'll start by crocheting 3 chain stitches. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. This forms a V shape, which is the first chain stitch. Repeat the process to crochet the remaining 2 chain stitches. Next, we'll crochet 3 double crochet stitches. Yarn over, so there are now 2 loops on the hook. Then, insert the hook into the ring and pull the yarn through. Now, there are 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops at once, completing our first double crochet stitch. After finishing the stitches, they form a V-shaped stitch, which is our first stitch. Pin a stitch marker here. Next, we'll continue by crocheting 2 more double crochet stitches. After finishing the second double crochet stitch, it also forms a V-shaped stitch. When finished 3 double crochet stitches, we'll crochet 2 chain stitches. We'll continue by crocheting 3 double crochet stitches followed by 2 chain stitches. Those stitches form a group. We'll repeat the group twice more. The 2 chains from each group will create a corner of the square. After finishing, pull all the stitches together. And let's close the magic ring. Locate the short tail of the yarn and gently pull it to find the moving thread. Pull the moving thread in the opposite direction until the circle is completely closed. Then pull the yarn tail again to tighten the ring. Now, make a slip stitch into the marked stitch, which is also the first stitch of the first round. Remove the marker. Press the yarn tail to the back of the piece. Insert the crochet hook into the first stitch, place the yarn tail on the hook, yarn over, pull the yarn through, and then pull it directly through the loop on the hook. Pull the loop tightly to shrink the V-stitch. It won't be counted as a regular stitch. The first round is complete. Pull up the loop to stretch it out, then cut the yarn. Take out the yarn of the second round. Leave a 2 inches yarn tail and tie a slip knot. Find the position of the first large hole next to the slip stitch. Insert the crochet hook into this stitch, place the yarn tail on the hook, and place the loop onto the hook. Pull the loop through the hole, and we will crochet 2 chain stitches. Then followed by a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, and pull the yarn through so that you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops to complete the half double crochet. After completing the stitch, you'll see a V shape. This is the first stitch of our second round. Place a stitch marker here to mark it. Next, in each of the next 2 stitches, crochet 1 half double crochet. Insert into the 2 V stitches here. Place the yarn tails over the hook. We've finished the second half double crochet. Now move on to crochet the third half double crochet. Now we've reached the first corner of the square. Here, crochet 1 half double crochet, followed by 3 chain stitches, and then crochet another half double crochet in the same spot. Now we can cut off the yarn tails. On this side, crochet 1 half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. We've reached the second corner. Here, crochet 1 half double crochet, then 3 chain stitches, and another half double crochet in the same spot. Repeat the above stitch pattern 2 more times, continuing to crochet until you reach the last stitch. After completing the last stitch, make a slip stitch into the position marked. Then, cut the yarn and pull the loop through to secure it. Take out the third round yarn and make a slip knot. Find the first stitch next to the yarn tail and insert the crochet hook into that stitch. Place the yarn tail on the hook, and put the loop onto the hook. Pull this loop through the stitch, then we crochet 2 chain stitches. Then, we will crochet 1 half double crochet into the same stitch. Next, crochet 1 half double crochet into each of the next 3 corresponding stitches. We've now crocheted a total of 4 half double crochets. At the corner, crochet a group of 2 half double crochets, followed by 2 chain stitches, and then 2 more half double crochets in the same spot. Cut off the yarn tail. Let's look at the next insertion spot. The position is located at the upper left of the V stitch. We'll start by crocheting 5 half double crochets, beginning from the position of the first stitch. After completing 5 half double crochets, we've reached the corner. Here, crochet 2 half double crochets, followed by 2 chain stitches, and then 2 more half double crochets in the same spot. Continue repeating the stitch pattern to complete crocheting the remaining 2 sides. Remember to crochet the last half double crochet. Make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Stretch out the loop and cut off the yarn. Take out the yarn for the 4th round. Leave a 2 inches yarn tail and make a slip knot. Find the position of the first stitch directly next to the slip stitch. Place the loop onto the hook, pull it through the stitch, then crochet 1 chain stitch. Crochet 1 single crochet into the same stitch. A V-shaped stitch has formed. Place a stitch marker here to mark the spot. Next, we'll crochet a front post treble 2 together. Let me show you how to do this. Yarn over twice, then insert the hook around the leftmost post stitch of this side from the 2nd round, going from front to back. Yarn over and pull up a loop, giving you 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, leaving you with 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops on the hook, leaving you with 2 loops. Then, yarn over the hook twice again and insert your hook around the rightmost post stitch bar of the same side from the 2nd round. Now, we have 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the next 2 loops, leaving 3 loops. Finally, yarn over and pull through all 3 remaining loops to complete the stitch. For the next stitch, skip 1 stitch and crochet a single crochet in the following stitch. Next, we will continue by crocheting 3 single crochets. Now we've reached the first corner. Here, crochet 1 single crochet, followed by 3 chain stitches, and then another single crochet in the same spot. Now we'll begin crocheting the second side. First, crochet 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. For the next stitch, we will skip 1 stitch and crochet front post treble 2 together. Let me demonstrate. Yarn over twice. Crochet around the post of the leftmost stitch on this side from the 2nd round. Pull the yarn through 2 loops on the hook twice. Then yarn over the hook twice again. Insert the hook around the rightmost post on this side from the 2nd round. Then, pull the yarn through 2 loops on the hook twice. Finally, pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook at once. Skip 1 stitch, and starting in the next stitch, crochet 4 single crochets, 1 in each of the next 4 stitches. At the corner, we crochet 1 single crochet, 3 chain stitches, and 1 single crochet. Repeat the pattern and continue crocheting along the remaining 2 sides. After crocheting the last 3 single crochets, make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Stretch out the loop and cut off the yarn. Take out the 5th round yarn, make a slip knot. Locate the first stitch. Place the loop on the hook. Pull the loop through the stitch. Then we crochet 3 chain stitches. In the first stitch, we'll crochet 1 double crochet. Yarn over, then insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over again and pull through, so there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Finally, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops to complete the double crochet. Place a marker on the first V-stitch. Next, crochet 1 double crochet in each stitch, for a total of 6 double crochets. At the corner, we will crochet 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 double crochets. On the other side, crochet 11 double crochets, 1 in each stitch. We have reached the second corner, where we will crochet 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 double crochets. Following the same pattern, repeat the steps to complete the remaining 2 sides. For the last side, we will crochet 4 double crochets. After that, make a slip stitch into the first stitch, then cut the yarn to finish off. Take out the yarn, leaving a 2-inch tail, and make a slip knot. We'll now begin crocheting the 6th round. Insert the hook where we just made the slip stitch. Place the loop on the hook. Then, crochet 1 chain, and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. Use a marker to mark the first stitch. For the second stitch, crochet a front post treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook from front to back around the post of the white stitch below. Yarn over again and pull the yarn through. You should now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and repeat this step 2 more times. Now you can see the pattern starting to form. Skip 1 stitch, then begin by crocheting a single crochet in the 3rd stitch, followed by 7 more single crochets, 1 in each stitch. We've reached the corner. Here, crochet 1 single crochet, followed by 2 chain stitches, and then another single crochet in the same spot. After finishing the peak section, we will crochet 7 single crochets. In the 8th stitch position, crochet a front post treble crochet. Then, skip the 8th stitch and, in the next stitch, continue crocheting 7 single crochets until you reach the corner. Repeat the crochet pattern to complete the remaining 2 sides. On the last side, crochet 6 single crochets, then make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. The granny square is complete. We'll repeat the process to crochet 10 granny squares, with the yarn tails placed outward to connect the squares together. First, we'll sew the squares together in pairs vertically. Locate the stitch in the upper left corresponding to the first stitch at the peak, and use a stitch marker to mark it. Locate the connection stitches at the bottom of the pieces. These are the single crochet stitches next to the corner chains. Use a stitch marker to connect them. Similarly, mark the connection position on the upper side of the square. We'll begin sewing from the corner, aligning the stitches one by one as we go, and work our way from the bottom to the top. Let me show you how. Cut a 20 inches length of yarn and make a slip knot at the end. Thread the yarn needle through the big hole of the corner, and then pass it through the loop of the knot you just made. Tighten the yarn tail to secure the knot. We'll place the yarn tail on top of the pieces to conceal it while crocheting and sew back and forth 2 or 3 times at the corner to secure it. Then we will sew together the outer half stitches of both pieces, one by one, starting from the 2 stitches we marked. Release the marker. The outer half stitches refer to the stitches closest to the piece. Next, we'll continue sewing the outer half stitches on both sides, matching them one by one. Now that we have reached the corner, we will sew back and forth 2 times in the holes. Then, sew the corner of the upper left square to the corner of the bottom right square, stitching through it twice for added security. After that, continue by sewing the corner of the bottom left square to the corner of the top right square. Next, sew the corners of the 2 upper squares together twice. After that, continue sewing the corresponding outer half stitches together, matching them one by one. We've now reached the top corners. Here, sew back and forth 3 times to secure the connection. Then, thread the yarn to the back of the piece, tie a few secure knots, and weave the yarn ends into the stitches on the back to hide them. Use the same method to connect the remaining pieces. We've connected all 10 pieces vertically, and now we'll join the end piece to the starter piece to complete the circle. Just as with the previous vertical sewing method, we'll sew from one end to the other to connect the pieces. After completing the vertical connections, we'll begin the horizontal ones. We'll leave the center flower piece unconnected to allow space for tissue placement, so we'll skip sewing that section and start connecting from above it. Since the connection points of the 4 pieces are already secured, we can skip sewing there. We'll begin sewing from the outer half stitch at the first stitch position. Hide the yarn tails while sewing. We have sewn up to the point where the 4 pieces are connected. Next, we'll pass a yarn needle through from underneath and then continue sewing the next 2 granny squares. Continue sewing in this manner until you reach the positions for the 9th squares. After completing the final stitch, thread the yarn tails to the back, tie a knot on the reverse side, and secure the yarn tails. Position the opening in the center, and then proceed with the side seams. First, identify where to begin. Locate the rightmost granny square. Starting the stitch next to the corner chain, count to the 4th stitch. We will fold the piece at this point. We will begin sewing the side seams. Tie a slip knot at the end of the yarn. Insert the yarn needle through the marked stitch. Then pass it through the loop. Pull the yarn tail tightly to secure. Next, sew the outer half of the stitches together one by one. The marked stitch is not connected to any other stitches. Next, lay the yarn tail along the sewing edge and hide it as you connect the pieces. When we reach the corners of the crochet piece, each hole in the corner chain should be connected to the corresponding outer half stitch. Continue stitching one by one until the end. After completing one side of the stitching, conceal the yarn tails on the back, tie a knot, and weave in the near stitches. Similarly, sew the other side, then turn the piece to the back and weave in the yarn tails. Now, let's create 4 pom-poms to attach to each of the 4 corners. Wrap the yarn around 4 fingers approximately 60 times. Take a yarn strand and fold it in half. From the center of the folded strand, wrap it through the middle of the yarn loops to secure the pom-pom. Use scissors to trim the loops on both sides and snip any uneven edges to shape the pom-pom into a round form. Use a brush or comb to fluff the top of the pom-pom, then trim it again to achieve a more refined shape. Next, use a yarn needle to attach the pom-pom to the corner. Afterwards, tie a knot on the back side and trim any excess yarn. Hide the tails to the near stitches. Once the 4 pom-poms are attached, the tissue holder is complete. Thank you for watching.